Who's emceeing? What?
All right. Test, audio test.
There he is.
Test, audio test.
Check one.
Testing. Am I mirrored? What the hell was? Everybody was saying in the stream a minute ago that my
it
video
is.
was backwards.
Yeah, it's fine now. It looks fine now.
You're fine. Yeah, you're fine here.
Yeah,
because on my
screen,
screen, like my Cuisinart right over there, that's backwards on my screen if I'm looking at it. So that's some bass-ackward shit right there.
I had that happen the other day.
No F-bomb.
We are live, gentlemen.
Yeah, that is correct now, Quasi.
All right.
All right, we're live.
Yes, sir. Thanks everybody for coming out, and I think it's going to be really cool having a lot of content creators in one call at one time. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Thank you everybody for jumping in. Thank you everybody to jumping in chats. Yeah, if you have any questions or anything, let us know. We'll try to facilitate them as best as possible. I know it's going to be kind of a lot coming at everybody, but we'll do the best we can. And if we skip over something, we still love you. So, yeah, Happy New Year, everybody. How's everybody doing?
Yes. Yeah, Happy New Year. Happy Merry Christmas.
Boom! I got both live stream chats pulled up next to each other. Let's go.
Look at you.
Heck yeah.
Look at you go.
I can technology sometimes.
Sometimes.
Listen, I'm glad we were able to even get you in the call to begin with.
You read the book.
I did not read the book.
Do you even know where the book is?
Yeah, it's on my bookshelf. Still in great condition.
The audio
Spine's never even been bent.
Is it still in the plastic wrap?
You know.
So yeah, how was everybody's year this year? Did you go on any of your trips that you wanted to do? Any that you didn't get to do?
Who do you want to actually start with?
Go ahead, Slight.
You want to do...
Yeah, go ahead. Slight, go ahead.
Okay, so I'll start. My name's Nick. Slight Moto. So next one, let's go Jeremiah.
Hey, I'm Jeremiah. Ride of a Lifetime. Thank you, everybody.
I don't know if you guys want to use your names or not, but Quasi, everyone knows you.
Yeah,
Birch,
Aaron,
everyone
Quasi.
knows.
I think everyone probably already knows that.
Mhm.
Birch from Life of Birch.
Oh,
Whoa, did I do that?
yeah.
You did.
You're using
Was that
reactions. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you do this, it's
No.
kind of crazy too. I don't know how.
Not working.
I might have him turned off because I had tested it a bunch
Pranking
of
us and
times.
just, like makes hot dogs fly at our face or something.
Okay. Last three.
There you go. Go ahead, Link. Introduce yourself.
Oh, I'm Link from Link Felton, even though I rarely post on YouTube.
Fran.
I'm Fran. I'll have a channel called FX_rides when I decide to start recording stuff when the snow is gone.
Nice.
Last but not least.
Last but not least.
Hello, everyone. I'm Nate, also known as BigMcNate. I do travel content on YouTube, and I don't know. I'm undetermined on what bike I want to get next year.
Nice.
Okay, so next thing would be probably events what we did last year, what we had, what we enjoyed, that type of stuff. Who wants to start with that?
Yeah, I guess we'll go in the same order. Just to kind of keep it, nice. So What was the question again? I'm sorry, I was looking at something.
So it's the events and stuff that we ended up doing last year. So we ended up doing, like, for me, I do a lot of charity events. I don't record a lot of them, but I do record some of them. And then of course we did the couple trips down to the States. Of course to Life of Birch, and then we went down to Jeremiah's as well. I love that country. It's so beautiful, and yeah, it's if anybody's actually wanting to go down that way, come by, let me know, message me, link up on the way down.
Nice, nice. Yeah. We got to go to Life of Birch and got to meet some new friends this year. I feel like this year felt like a really good year just because we had good hangs and had that. We had my first meetup, which I was super, super stoked to host everybody, and I'm glad everybody made it safe, you know. And yeah, that was a really good time. And then I also got to go to Niagara Falls this year with Fran. So a lot of fun, a lot of good trips, a lot of good vibes. So
Which one was your favorite?
my favorite, probably actually was your meetup. Actually, I would say I had a lot of fun, like hanging out with everybody in the house, like playing pool. It felt like a very close community. Like it was a good time for sure.
See, I feel like I can appreciate those vibes a lot more now that we rode out to see you.
Yeah, man.
Like, normally I'm dealing with all like the pressure of making sure everyone has a good time, everybody gets to where they're going safe, and that everything's planned out properly. So the ride was stressful getting to you, but then being there, it's like I got to live the other side of it, you know?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I got to live the other side of it. So I got to do all the planning and stuff and see how stressful that is and trying to make sure everything is all good, the route's good, and everybody has a good time. So I now know the stress. So
I just want to say that Airbnb was awesome, and we need to do that next time. That was fantastic. That place was great.
You gonna hammock in the backwoods again?
I think I'll hang out by the street. There are a lot more trees up by the street.
Fair.
it might be a little weird as people are driving by in their own neighborhood and they have a guy in a hammock that's outside.
I never did get that picture from Mike where he got me hanging in the hammock. You know, the Sasquatch looking out of the hammock.
I never sent that to you. I swear I did.
No, I didn't get it. I thought we had it, but
my dumbass just started looking around for my phone so I could send it to you and realize I'm streaming from it. So I'll send it when it's done.
Yeah, that was funny actually.
What about you there, Birch? What was your favorite trip? Did you already say?
I mean, it's hard to say because we don't really like trips in the first place, you know. So the only really like long trip that we did was coming to your ride, which was obviously awesome. Other than that, I mean, I really only did like we do Ocean City Bike Week every year, which is always great. I did the overnight trip to Pennsylvania. Yeah, I don't know. I'm more of like a day trip guy, so I didn't really do a whole lot of like crazy long trips or anything. But West Virginia was definitely a highlight once we got over the realizing why we don't do long trips part of things. But yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. What about you, Link? What was your favorite trip?
I mean, I literally only was able to do the one trip, and that was to the Life of Birch meet, which was a lot of fun. Second time in a row I've gone to that meet, and I beat Nina at a game. So first time was the darts, second time was pool. So hopefully I can keep it up with
him. He brings his own cue.
What about you, Fran?
Oh boy, I did Birch Ride. We did your meet. We did the one in Niagara Falls. We did the Adirondacks with Nate. I think that was all I did. I don't know which one I consider the favorite though.
Gotcha.
They were all fun, almost equally.
Nice, nice. What about you, Big MC Nate?
Oh man, Birch, Adirondacks. Um, I did a Thanksgiving 1,200-mile tour around North Carolina from Fayetteville out to the Outer Banks. That was fun. Probably the favorite though was the small bore tour up to Lancaster, Pennsylvania. A 3-hour ride that actually it's supposed to be 3 hours, but actually took 6 hours. You just get to see the whole world differently when you're only moving about 45 mile an hour, and the Super Cub is probably the best steed to do it. I can thank Quasi for that. Hopefully,
Yep.
fingers crossed,
Seeing the
Cannonball next
country in
year.
slow motion is awesome.
Oh yeah.
Heck yeah. Love it. What about you, Quasi? Did you say what trips you did this year?
Sorry, stuck on mute there. Really, the Life of Birch trip was the only long one that I got to take. There were other health and financial issues that kind of squashed my riding season, but 25 is shaping up to be a whole lot better. There's going to be Cannonball coming up this year, and a couple of other rides, hopefully that I can squeeze in before June timeframe. So we'll see.
Nice. I like it.
Can we talk about the fact that this man drove or rode from Texas to Maryland in a straight shot, did
Yeah.
not stop at all.
In a storm.
Well,
Straight
I stopped
shot.
for the rain. I stopped for the rain because
Yeah.
there was hail and tornado. So I
Okay.
sat that out for about an hour and a half. Yeah. Otherwise, it's straight through.
Yeah.
23 hours straight through.
I mean, I did the same thing, but I was in my car towing, but that doesn't compare
Peter?
to.
Doesn't have the same effect.
Yeah. No.
You can fall asleep for a couple minutes at the wheel of a car and you're fine, but on a bike, it's a different story.
Yeah.
Yeah, napping and riding don't mix.
No.
Nice. Trips that want to be doing this year. I've talked about it on my channel, but I've definitely wanted to do more moto camping. So that's definitely on the list. More long form videos. Almost, I've thought about like doing like an ASMR thing where I don't like talk and just me riding to a specific spot and then, camping, having chill vibes. So it's something I definitely wanted to do this year. We'll have another meetup for me. I still don't have like a date or anything for that. It's too close or too far away to really say like when it's going to be, but hopefully doing another ride this year, and super excited about that, and hopefully going to Birch's meetup again. So yeah. What about you, Nick?
Oh, obviously we're going to be doing the one down to you and then one down to Birch's. I really enjoyed that like house thing that we ended up doing the Airbnb. It was nice to be able to ride that long and then be able to kind of chill for a little bit, kind of less stressful, right? And the interaction and stuff like that. So that one was probably the best one that I liked. So I'm looking forward to that one again. Coming down to your place, I'm not sure if we're gonna do it one straight trip again. I think Fran will probably get upset with me if I do that. But we left
it wasn't that
last.
bad.
No, I mean besides the fact that you can't back up your bike.
Well,
But but yeah, besides that, yeah, I'm not sure. I was hopeful maybe next time you guys end up going up to Niagara and stuff, maybe I can link up and join you guys. But I mean, I got to cross the border, right? So.
Yeah, well, I need a passport to do that as well, so hopefully I can just get mine and go over to see you. So need to do that.
There's a race between you and Jeff and them, right? So.
Hey, I'll get mine. I guarantee you before they do. So, what about you, Quasi?
It's
I know you said
surprisingly
that.
simple to get.
What'd you say, Birch? Sorry.
I said it's surprisingly easy to get your passport. I just got mine. Well, I guess now it's last year, but I had always wanted it. But it seems like it's this big process. But you literally just like take a picture, send it in with a form, and they send you a passport.
Yeah, unless you need to get it fast and do an expedite or something like that, it's really not that big a deal. You're so close to DC up there that the expedite is probably not that hard or that expensive. From down here, we have to do a counter to counter, and it's $480 or something like that, plus the passport fee. So it ends up costing about $700.
Jeez.
If you need it fast.
Yeah. What is fast? Like week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
Normal is about 2 weeks. Fast is within 24 to 48 hours.
Wow.
They do it counter to counter at a airport. So somebody goes and picks it up at the receiving counter in DC, runs it over to the passport office and processes it and does all that, puts it on a plane and sends it back.
Dang.
Faster than FedEx.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, it takes a lot longer here.
Nina said Slight's audio is low.
Is it?
On whose stream? Because the
Slights audio is low.
streaming gets turned up on theirs, unless he turns it up on his own.
Yeah, I
Fran's is low
I'm
on my
checking.
side anyway.
See, I was gonna say now. Then Fran talked, and I could barely hear Fran.
How about now? Any better?
Better.
Unfortunately.
Love you too.
Okay.
Check 1 2. Any better?
So Quasi, what
Jeremy,
trips are you
audio.
wanting to do?
Chris,
You said Cannonball. What else?
Yeah, Cannonball's coming up. So Ride with Alex, the guy from Romania, he's going to be shipping his scooter to Houston. I'm going to go pick it up at one of the ports. I'm not sure where it's coming in yet. And then that'll be staged here at my place for probably a few weeks until he gets into the States. And then we'll leave about maybe first week of June, I guess. I need to look at all the dates. I'm terrible with these trips because I intentionally don't plan them. Too much planning takes the fun out of it and the spontaneity out of it. So, but we've got about a week ride that we're going to take up there to the starting line in the Northwest. So, Seaside, Oregon.
Nice.
And then when he comes back, after we finish the Cannonball, it's going to end down here in South Padre. He wants to ride over to Florida somewhere. I can't remember where. And I might accompany him on that. So we'll see how it turns out. I should have quite a bit of riding in store this year. So, woohoo!
But you better let me know when you're coming through, man, because if you're coming to Florida, you're gonna drive right through Tallahassee.
Absolutely, yeah. We'll let you know. He wants to do something Angels Ride. I can't remember the name of the group, but he follows them on YouTube and wants to visit. So.
Okay, I'll have to look that up. I haven't heard of that
that's,
myself.
that's Shade Tree Surgeon's group.
Yes.
Forgotten
Yes.
Angels or something like that.
Forgotten Angels. That's it.
Yep.
You got it. You got it.
Yep. So Quasi, Scooter Cannonball, I looked it up, is June 20th, and that's the week after Smoky Mountain Small Bore. What are the chances you end up there? Because I'm thinking about going to Smoky Mountain Small Bore.
Well, it depends because we need a week to ride up to Seaside, Oregon. So a lot of those rides through the Appalachians end up in the wrong week or two because I've got to go the opposite direction. So for last year, we had to be out in California, so I couldn't do the Barber Small Bore and a couple of the others.
Yeah, because you said where's the Scooter Cannonball start? You said that was like
it's different every year, but it's Seaside, Oregon this coming year.
Oh yeah, never mind. Because Smoky Mountains obviously up in Tennessee.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to do that. There's a couple of small bore endurance runs, rallies that look interesting, but I haven't been able to make the timing work because they always conflict with Cannonball, and Cannonball all the way across for me.
Right.
I still don't understand how you're able to do the scooter cannonballs. That's
gluteal fortitude.
That's a fair point.
What about you, Birch? What you said that one, but the Smoky Mountain. What else are you thinking about?
Probably gonna do. Oh yeah, see, we were talking about rides from last year, and I didn't even consider. What is it? What's the word I'm looking for? The one in Florida. God damn, brain is not working. Daytona.
Daytona Fest.
Daytona Bike Week.
Consider that because I didn't ride to that. But so I'll probably be doing Daytona Bike Week this year. I'm hoping to get to this Smoky Mountain Small Bore, whatever that is. Doing my ride, which I'm still unsure of when I'm doing that, because the past couple of years we've been fighting the rain so bad that it's always a struggle. Like, everybody seems to enjoy the beginning of season ride versus like the end of season ride, but it's such a struggle trying to plan around the weather in that time of year while also not getting too close to other rides and things. So I gotta do some planning with that. But other than that, I don't really have a whole lot of trips planned yet. I do want to do some sort of like camper setup with the Element and put the mini motos in there and go camping.
That'll be fun.
But other than that, I don't. And then obviously going to your ride, but other than that, I don't really know. Like, I feel like this past year, I tried to focus more on riding and less on buying bikes and working on bikes, and didn't really enjoy it as much. I just like riding around here and doing day trips and stuff like that. And there's so much like added pressure trying to plan all these grandiose trips and the amount of money that it costs and the amount of time that goes into it for something that I just don't enjoy as much as just riding around doing the thing. I'll probably cut back on that some this year and just probably get back to what I said I wasn't going to do and buy more bikes and work on them.
Everybody hold your breath.
Yeah, the ride planning can be pretty
exactly
rough.
right.
It's a lot more fun to just go and do the events than to have to plan and be, under the stress of coordinating it all. It
Right.
kind of takes the fun out of it in some aspects.
Yeah.
Yeah, also just
Yeah.
trying to, you have this struggle of, oh, well, this camera's doing a weird thing and, you're trying to film it. So you're just like, you know what? It's just, there's some trips where I'm just like, I'm not even going to worry about it. I'm just going to do it. Have fun with it. Because
Yep.
I think it's a good balance to have those kind of things too, where you're just like, not recording this one, just going to go have fun, do my thing and enjoy it, So
It's important for that too, right?
Yep.
Yep.
A lot of people have asked why I don't do a lot of in-camp recording, showing the moto camping and stuff like that. And, after the ride, especially when we're all just sitting around chewing the fat, talking about whatever, those aren't necessarily shareable moments unless you're present. If you're present, which anyone's welcome to join, you can partake of that, but I don't feel like recording that and trying to share it with the world because of, just the overhead factor. It takes the fun out of it sometimes.
Yeah, you kind of want to be present in the moment, and those are good memories to have, and it's something you hold dear. So, yeah, for sure.
How many in the actual chats have been to any of these events, right? Like, I know Rob hasn't. He's in my chat right now because he still doesn't have his passport. But but how many actually has been to any of these events? Let's check.
Yeah, while we wait for that to come in, Link, what about you? What about trips that you're doing?
Well, definitely gonna do Life Birds 2025. Hopefully I can make your ride this year. Where's the small bore event gonna be? Where is it usually at?
Tennessee.
Depending on time frames and if I've got time off for it, I might try to do that as well. I mean, I think that'd be fun.
It's right by the tail of the dragon. So it's Maryville, Tennessee, June 12th through 14th.
12th through 14th. Is that a weekend?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, if I can make time for it, if I got time off, from work available, I might try to do that.
Dope.
Bring the XR 150.
The big bike.
And
How's it been treating you?
Bring it on a trailer again. Don't ride.
It's a big hit for you, Graham.
It'll probably be on the trailer. I mean, it depends though. If I'm able to get the 222 cc big bore kit, I mean, because that thing looking like fun. I've already seen someone put it on, and they've gotten the XR up to 80 solid, which is pretty good. Yeah.
Dang.
I don't know if I want to go 80 miles an hour on that thing.
Yeah, I don't know
you
either.
But it's been treating me well so far. I've got the scooter swap shop intake on it. I've got the carb retuned. I've been running it without any of the plastics. I just like the look of it without the plastics. And then I've got a Carpy Ride 5-inch screen on it for Android Auto, which has been kind of nice to have. So
Nice.
Well, if you come and you bring your XR150 to West Virginia, you'll have some off-road stuff that you can do. Cause
heck yeah,
right up in the mountains, bro. Heck yeah. So
heck yeah, man.
So yeah.
Yeah.
What about you, Fran?
You like them. Yeah.
I mean, beyond the meets that are normally we're going to, hopefully, might do a Blue Ridge ride this year. Kind of in the beginning stages of that getting planned out. So that'll be.
Does anyone know the condition of the Blue Ridge right now? Is it still torn up?
It was the last time
storm?
I remember.
Yeah, right.
It's getting better, but it's not. I mean, it's 6 months away, so we got some time. There's live status updates on the website that they update pretty much daily.
Hopefully they get that all figured out and everything. I know that our church has sent some relief stuff over there to kind of help with that, so it's kind of crazy. What about you, Nate?
Technology.
We lost him.
I know.
Technology is difficult. Well, work threatens a relocation to Seattle, so that's going to greatly change what this year looks like, but that's still a few months away. But the name of the game this year is Miles, and right now I've got a colleague who we'd be meeting somewhere, probably in Ohio. He'd be riding down from Grand Rapids, Michigan, and we're looking to do the Bourbon Trail, I think it's called, down through Louisville, Kentucky. And right now, I got to set the money aside for it with some preventative maintenance for the FJR, greasing the drive shaft splines, doing the rear end, greasing the suspension. There's a couple suspension grease joints. But I'm looking at moto camping, but take a page out of the Goldwing Riders book and tow a small trailer with the FJR. It makes like 145 horsepower. So hopefully, fingers crossed, a trailer wouldn't impact the rideability too much. There's a lot of other FJR owners who are able to tow and get away with it. So yeah, I'm looking at least. I did 12,500 miles on 2 wheels this past year, and I wanted to at least double it this year.
That's a lot of miles.
I mean, moto camping doesn't look fun. Like every single time I see some YouTuber post it, it's like miserable.
It's all about the experience. The
Fun.
suffering adds to it.
How could you not be having fun in this?
I don't know. Like when Birch does the whole video and it's literally a tornado and everything outside. No thanks. Like
I'm good off moto camping.
100%, I'm with you there.
There's this crazy thing called hotels that I found out about. Turns out they're only like $50 a night.
Yeah, 100%.
Dang, dude. I didn't know they still make those.
Apparently.
Yeah. I have
Remnants of the past.
I have somebody in my chat named Scooter. If you want a laugh, you can ask Quasi what happened when I was going to Small Bore Rally 2023 when I put a hole in my PCX's engine case in Georgia.
Oh, 444.
Oops.
I want to hear this story.
Oh, man.
Yeah, apparently he was on some road in the middle of Georgia, I think it was, and cooking along on the highway, 55, 60 miles an hour, whatever, and he ran over a chunk of brake drum from a big truck that was laying on the road. Couldn't see it until he hit it, and it flipped up and put a giant hole in his engine case. and he pulls off the side of the road, leaves an oil slick behind him and all that. And shortly after that, a state trooper pulled up behind him to hassle him or whatever, and the trooper hit the thing too and was leaving an oil slick down the road. And apparently, I mean, it destroyed the engine, but or destroyed
Just
the
figured
bottom
out
end,
I
and he had to
can
tow it away. But apparently, he
mute
got
the
a DOT
chat over here, but I
or
can still talk to you
EPA
guys.
ticket of some kind, and had to pay hundreds and hundreds of dollars for the spilled oil. I mean,
And
what-
didn't the
what-
insurance
how the
company
hell-
did it? The insurance company left them high and dry too, because they're like, well, this vehicle's not meant for
Didn't cover
road
it.
use, and it's like that's
Yeah,
bullshit. You know, they will easily do
exactly,
65.
exactly. They were saying that it wasn't
But if
designed for
I'm
what he
missing
was
comments,
doing.
I'm
Well,
sorry. I'm trying to
it's an on-road
getting used
vehicle
to trying to
that's,
go back
you
and
know,
forth between
legal across
everything.
all
So
50 states. So how's that?
To be fair, a PCX 150 will go faster with you on it than me.
Well, true, true.
was that a fat joke? Because
It's
I
supposed
think
to
I
be a
beat
short joke.
I beat all you guys in that area. So
It's just a matter of aerodynamics, you know.
well, I am the least aerodynamic out of all of us here. Got on the scale the other day and I was like, "Oh, big boy here, 295, man." We're
The
gonna try to
guy,
fix that this year.
From your thing, Quasi, Tim Wagster or Wagster, telling me that moto camping looks like a blast. Storms swinging between trees with monster running through camps. Who would not love that? And that's literally because of my comment of moto camping's not okay. But again, here's the problem. You have a guy like me saying no, and then of course you're running through, and it's like nothing. It's crazy.
I've been doing it for so long it doesn't phase me, but I've gotten caught in a few pretty nasty storms, and it's not like I set out to be in the storm. You know, but you're out there, and if it comes through, good luck. You know, there's
Right.
no packing up camp and trying to get out of it because you're going to be in it no matter what you do. So you just tough it out. Good luck. But yeah, I've gotten caught in a couple of tornadoes, a lot of hailstorms, real nasty winds. I've been hanging at 90 degrees sideways in crosswinds a few times. A little crazy.
Yeah,
Jesus.
I remember first year that I went to Birch's meetup, and I went with my buddy Jesse. He had a different bike entirely. What is it? The Intruder, I think is what it was. I can't remember. Kawasaki. I can't remember. Anyway, but small bike, and we're going through all this rain, just struggling like white knuckle to the and I remember like being in our cardos and just having like we usually have music playing, but then if I would said, hey, cardo, music off, Jesse's doing the same thing because we have like wind and rain coming this way. We have semis just passing us at 70 miles an hour, and I'm like yeah, not having a fun time right now. But we're singing Mulan, let's get down to business to defeat the Huns. We're just like trying to do anything to get through. We're just like, yes. And then Jesse obviously falling and me dropping my bike. And I was like, what the frick, man? So
I always forget that happened.
well, it was fun because when we got to the campsite, we set up the tent in the rain, and then we're in there, and I'm like, we're having oatmeal, like, because we were planning on going to go get food and then bring it back, and cook it there, and that didn't end up happening. But I had oatmeal for like breakfast for the next day, and then you went live on your channel, and I was like, hey, yeah, we made it, but we're like half dead. It's cool. So a lot of fun though, good memories.
Preston had the same problems last year where he moto camped the one night and then decided to come stay with us in the Airbnb because he had storms and rain and everything else.
Yeah.
Well, that first Life of Birch meetup, when Ben and I were riding back to Tennessee, we got hammered, man. That rain was nuts. There was hail. There was all kinds of stuff in it. And it started before we even got into Tennessee, and we rode all the way through it for like 5 hours straight. It was insanity.
Well,
Yeah, I would pull over. I would just stop.
Yeah.
Well, we looked at the radar, and there was no getting out of it. So if we sit still, we're just prolonging the pain. Better chance of staying upright, but we just didn't want to sit in it any longer than we needed to, and we pushed through. At some of the points, we were running 75, 80 miles an hour, and the bikes were handling it just fine. But when the rain really came down hard, and we started getting hail, that's where we were looking for somewhere to pull off or bridges or something. But there were no overpasses. It kind of sucked.
One of my videos that I frequent often on your channel there, Quasi, is where you have the 360 camera and you're in your tent and the tent is just basically doing this above you. It's hilarious. I watched it and I'm like just pan around. I'm like, yeah, that looks like it sucks.
Yeah, and that one was just impromptu. I should have rolled back one of the doors on the tent to show the little Super Cub sitting out there. It was sinking in the mud and going kind of sideways, but it managed to stay upright through the whole event. But there were so many people at the racetrack that particular time. Big bikes, tents, everything was just ripped up, laid over on its side. There were some people in the small little pop-up campers that actually got tilted over. They got flipped over. It was pretty crazy.
So, Quasi, you've probably had the same issue that I had because what you said reminded me of something. Something I have happened pretty much throughout the entirety of the summer here in Florida is no matter where I park my bike, if I park it somewhere, go do some shopping, come back, my kickstand is like probably an inch or two into the asphalt just because of how hot it gets.
You got to get a puck, a parking
Yeah.
puck.
Mhm.
Yeah, when I rode the big touring bikes for many years, I had it happen to two of my Gold Wings and my Concours. Pull into a shopping center or whatever, fresh black asphalt in the summer, and I come back out and the bike is just laid over on its side, and I think,
Mhm.
man, somebody ran into the bike, and I go look, no, the side stand is dug straight down through the asphalt. And then picking it up is a whole lot of fun because
Oh,
not
yeah.
only are you fighting the weight of the bike, you're fighting pulling that that
Mm-hmm.
stand out of the asphalt. It sucks.
Right.
Gus is in my chat and he said, Fran, remember how we raced the storm on 81? That wind was brutal.
Right.
Yeah. So
yeah, that was fun. Forgot about that trip.
what is like some of the mods that you guys want to do on your bike? With me, I'm wanting to do some highway pegs and some crash bars, and I probably gonna do some what is it, the Burley brand foot pegs on mine. That's probably what I'm gonna do next. So what about you there, Slate? What are you gonna do to the 500
style?
I'm sorry.
Are you doing the MX style foot pegs?
Yeah, I believe so. I think it works better, more foot surface for sure.
They're so good.
Yeah, I've looked at them for a while.
Those are the ones that you have on, right? Birch?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep, I love them.
Yeah. A little bit more.
I love them because they got a bottle opener on the bottom of them.
Yes.
It was great when I went to some meets and people were trying to find a bottle opener. I'm like, give that thing here. I went, just, what the?
Yeah, if I keep my Rebel, I think I'm probably going to get the Depreto Moto forward controls for mine.
They're a
Just
great kit.
change the foot angle a little bit. They're pricey, but they look really good.
Yeah, they look the best out of all the Fords I've seen so far.
Yeah, so I have a video on that one. Sorry, I have a video on that one, and Rob has it on his, and that actually is one of the best kits you'll ever put on that for Fords. It is so well done.
Well, I've been holding off on any upgrades on my Rebel because I was really, really hoping that the NT 1100 was going to show up last year. It didn't, but I hear rumors that it is coming to the States this year, but only as a police bike. I can't remember who gave me the little hint on that, but maybe it's Fran. Yeah. So maybe if it shows up as a police bike, then we can get them through other channels. And if that comes here, then I probably won't put anything else in the Rebel, and I'll just upgrade to the NT.
A Quasi, Rob is in my chat right now, and he's written down "do it" multiple times because he absolutely swears by them. So,
The Depretos, I presume.
yeah,
They're really good. I reached out to Depreto 2 or 3 times via email to see if they wanted to sponsor and have me do a review and install video and all that, but I haven't heard back from them, so I'll just bite the bullet and pay the $600 or whatever they cost.
Bob Thomas has stated, "Hey, Birch dealer by me has a new XR150 for sale for 2,500.
Ooh,
That good?
Probably 35 to 4 grand out the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got some mods for the XR150 on the way that I'm excited about.
I know about one of them.
Do I want to say anything about it? Yeah, sure, I'll say it. I'm doing a supermoto setup on it. So I'm going to do like full 17, I think it's a 17 by 3.5 rear wheel setup and a 17 by 3 in the front, I think it is. But it'll have full supermoto wheels, tires, deleting some stuff, might do an LED headlight. Not sure exactly what all I'm going to do with it, but it's going to go more like supermoto style because ever since I got the e-bike, I put the dirt bike tires on that. I just never use anything else doing any off-roading stuff because just nothing's as good as that is. And I can be a hooligan and nobody hears it and calls the cops. It's great.
Yeah, I've got like 2 sets of auxiliary lights on my XR now. I've got a set that's fixed to the frame, and then I got a set that's fixed to the forks, so it turns with the forks. It's freaking awesome.
how much does the alternator put out on that thing?
So when you were at my meetup, you only had the one set, and now you have 2 sets?
I've got a second set. I got it for free for giving feedback and pictures and stuff for it.
Okay.
So
your bike was bright as hell before. I bet it's the freaking sun now.
It's great for all the big trucks down here that have those bright headlights because I'll flash my high beams, they'll flash their high beams, and then I just here comes the sun.
But wait, there's more.
You got
Okay,
them over
need
here.
it?
You got them here going here. E.T. phone.
Okay. First, you're going to have to explain this one. I want underglow and fog lights. That is from Nina. What an underglow? Is that going to be
Nina
a
wants
POC?
under. Did she want that? Damn. Well, I guess I gotta help with that. But
Day.
actually,
Valentine's Day.
Be easy enough now that we have experience with the the Thunderbox. We'll just hook both of them up to that.
She really liked, if you remember, Birch, when we first met up at the Rebel 1100 meet, she really liked my XK Chroma lights that I had that had the app and everything, and then that you could do.
Oh yeah,
I can send you the link to them.
Yeah. Send them to her. I'm not buying them. She's paying. I'm already the labor.
He's already the labor.
I'll send the link to her. I'll send it to her on Instagram.
Those fogs that you have on yours, Birch, is fantastic, though. So if those are the fogs she's talking about, that's awesome.
Dude, I love the fog lights that are on my Rebel. They are so nice. I don't know how especially us riding so long at night going to West Virginia, I don't know how I survived that without the fog lights. They are a game changer.
Well, as soon as you like messaged me and like told me where you were, I was like, dang, he's going through like Route 50 and it's going to be dark. And then I was like, well, I could ride out like halfway, probably meet him and then just catch him on the backside and have 2 sets of lights. But I was like, yeah, as soon as you did that mod and you were like on that brick wall or whatever and like just how much, I was like, dang, that's a lot. So need to do something like that for sure.
Yeah. I want to put them on every bike that I have. Like, they're so good.
Yeah.
Did you do the Thunderbox for those, right? On yours?
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'll have to
Yep.
probably do that. What about you, Slay? What mods are you gonna do to your 500?
I mean, not much more. I think I'm pretty much done with it.
Yeah.
He's
I
gonna
need
do
to
the
upgrade.
1100.
Yeah, I need to upgrade, but wife's got to go through school first, so I got to be responsible.
Fran is having a serious sneezing attack over there.
Yeah, I'm
Glad
over
he's
here
muting us
dying.
out instead of spraying us.
Fran, what about you? Are you doing any? We can come back to you.
I know at some point I need to install the Van True F1 camera kit that I got from Slate.
Yeah.
So which means I'm gonna need a Thunderbox because I'm running out of space. I might do the research and see if the 25 Rebel controls are any better than what I have now. See if it's worth upgrading from the ones I currently have to those.
Like buying the
What, the
OEM.
foot controls?
Yeah, they changed the triangle on the 25, so it's
Right.
gonna be a little different. It might not be worth it. I'll have to look it
Well,
up
I
and
mean,
see.
buying all the Honda
got-
kit for it's going to be very expensive.
Yeah,
They
you got the
very well
T-Rex
may.
on yours right now, right?
No, the T-Rex are gone. I switched over to
Oh.
the Red Dragon,
Mm.
Oh, that's right. I forgot
which
about that.
are drastically different than the T-Rex. There's some engineering
Thunderbox
choices
is
that
a.
were
Let me turn the chat
more
down here.
like-
Thunderbox is something that goes into your bike that attaches to the battery that clips the, like you can clip like a charger into it. You can charge a couple different things. Not charge, but it works off the battery and then it turns all the accessories that you plug into off, and it doesn't drain your battery while while you're riding. So.
I never installed it. I still have it in a box somewhere here. They just, I don't know, they kind of flop around a little too much.
I mean, I bought mine within the first year, so I figured maybe it was.
Hope that answers your question.
And then if you look at their comments on the website, it says that the tolerances are going to be loose. So it's just too much, especially on the brake side. The
Sorry
clutch
if
you can deal
Fran's
with,
too
the
low.
brake, you don't want your foot to go sideways.
I need to figure out how to
Beyond
individually
that stuff, I
adjust
think I'm
the
pretty much
volume for everybody.
Tapped
So.
out on what I'm going to do with it.
What about you, Nate? What are you
How many
doing?
miles do you have on your bike?
Oh.
Sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead. Go
Interrupt.
ahead. Ask your question.
I was going to say mileage. So where's everybody mile-wise on their Rebels now?
I'm probably at, I think 13,000. Maybe after the Niagara Falls trip, maybe I'm higher than that. Maybe I'm closer to 15. So I almost doubled what I did
think
last
I'm-
year. Go ahead, Bert. Sorry, I interrupted you.
I think I'm like just shy of 11.
I'm somewhere in the mid 20s. I don't remember exactly where I'm at.
Where you at on your slate?
I'm doing the conversion right now.
Converting
yeah,
it
we-
to
we-
bald eagle.
Yeah, we use
Hey,
freedom. We use
Merc.
freedom units
Merc.
here.
Yeah. We're doing
Okay,
freedom movements.
I won't use
So
the soundboard.
51,000 miles.
Wow.
So,
Rookie numbers.
Kilometer.
lucky numbers.
Yeah, I think I'm around 13.5. I haven't paid attention where I'm at. I haven't put a lot on it since the previous Birch trip that I took on it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I feel like half of those miles are just coming to Maryland and back.
Almost all the miles on that bike were Maryland trips. It made the 3 trips up there. So 3 trips up and
Oh
back.
yeah, it was
And I've had,
Oh, was
Yeah,
it 2? Was
yeah.
it? Or was it 3?
I think it was 3. I have to look back.
I think you missed one, didn't you?
Oh, I did miss one, but we're coming up on the 5th annual, right?
You missed one, but you took the other bike the last time. You didn't take the Rebel.
Correct.
So 2 trips.
Yeah, true. Yeah, you might be right. Most of it's all highway miles though, going cross country. I've taken that thing up there and back twice, and a few trips up around Arkansas, Missouri area, stuff like that.
Nina says I have done more miles on my 500 in one season than I did the entire time owning the 300.
It's more bike.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You can
it's
get
a
it
lot
out
more
on the
capable.
open road. Yeah.
I mean, the 500 isn't a bad bike at all. Like, I'm on it everywhere. So long distance, short distance, inside like cities or towns or whatever, highway. Now it doesn't matter. Now it's not as capable as the 1100. The 1100 is more comfortable on the highway, but it does a fantastic job for what it is, anyways. So, and the engine's fantastic. Like you can do whatever you want to that engine, and it just smiles and asks for more. Like it's just hilarious. Like I'm what again? I'm what was conversion? 50 some odd thousand miles, and it still doesn't need shims yet for the valve lash adjustments.
Yeah.
So
I've
that's
got the same engine in my
crazy.
500X and 500F,
Yeah,
yeah, and they're just fantastic engines.
yeah,
I've done the valve clearances on them twice, and I
Sorry
only
guys,
had to
I'm
shim
looking at my stream.
one
yeah,
side or one cylinder essentially.
yeah.
But
Stream is
they were
just
still
like
just
losing a
barely in
lot of
spec. I
frames. I
didn't
don't know
really
what's
need to
going on
change them,
there.
and I've got
Yeah.
30,000 some odd miles on them.
Nate, what was the mods that you're wanting to do?
Trailer hitches for both of the bikes. That's the I like to pack everything in the kitchen sink. So I've put the
Two-wheel
GV.
trailer or bob trailer?
Yeah, sorry guys if the
Two-wheel trailer.
sorry guys if the stream is cutting in and out. I'm it's looking like it's dropping a lot of frames, so sorry if that's going on. I might have to adjust my settings for the next stream, so my bad. Let me know how bad it is or good it is or whatever.
So probably put one of those on the FJR, and then put a one of those SurePax trailers on the back of the Super Cub. I need to find a mod. I need to do more research. I bought a 2008 Yamaha FJR. I'm the second owner for it, and it was babied. I've got like immaculate service records for it, so that's why I took the risk. So it's getting its usual preventative maintenance. The suspension has to get lubricated. The rear wheel has to come off. The drive shaft.
I adjusted the I did cut out some of the I don't think I can lower my bit rate during the actual stream. Let me look.
Yeah, that the spring on that is just incredibly heavy. Where I can't get one of the Go Cruises to hold the throttle open at a speed I want. It's so heavy, and it's it's I don't know why. So when it goes in for a lot of its work, because I just don't feel comfortable horsing around a 642-pound bike by myself, um, going to see if they can put a lighter spring on it. I hope, maybe. I don't know if they're going to be able to do that or not. But outside of that, it has a whole lot of go power. It needs to have a whole lot more stopping power. So probably better brakes are on the agenda. There's a mod that you can do. It has an electronic raising and lowering windshield. The old models, that every time you turn the heat off, they lower back down. So probably disable that. And just a couple other odds and ends, just some like nice to haves. It's got 21,000 miles on it now. So in the first 1,500 miles, there's a lot to learn. The shaft-driven bikes are less forgiving if you miss shift.
Yeah, shaft jack is no joke. It can raise and lower the bike if you're not careful with it.
Oh
Mid
yeah,
corner, that's no fun.
no.
Learn that quick with gold wings.
Yeah, no, and that's a gold wing is still on my list of things to acquire this year. More on that later.
We got one guy going. He's dropped weight. Fantastic, 43 pounds since October 5th.
Oh, Excelsior.
Yeah, and then Rob is going.
Yeah,
He's
that's Kevin.
gained weight. He's
Sorry guys, I
270.
turned down the
Oh my
audio
So
goodness.
while I was trying
Kevin,
to
giving
figure
it
out stuff.
over him.
Yeah. They're trading.
I'll watch back the stream and figure out what I need to actually adjust. This is only the first go, so hopefully we'll get it fixed before the next one. So looks like the bit rate is a little bit better.
Okay. I don't know what was on the rest of the agenda.
I think it
Nate?
kind of fell apart at this point.
I know it was all over the place.
Well, yeah, but it's also good hangs. So
Yeah. Bum, 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 bum.
anybody have any New Year's resolutions? Does anybody do that?
Me and Nina are doing dry January, so that's pretty terrible.
My condolences.
I was gonna say you don't have a beer. What's going on?
My lack of beer makes me feel like I need a beer.
Mm,
Love it.
well, we won't tell her.
Good old dry January.
I'm just hoping to drop down a couple pounds. I wanna get down to 260. So hopefully wanting to do that, which I think will make riding a little bit better and life better in general. So
I will help you by not sending you any more pizzas.
yeah, this guy, which I really appreciate everybody that was in that stream. That
I
just
think
made
we
my
need to
year.
start sending them more.
No, absolutely
Yeah.
not.
Every day a pizza shows up.
No, they had
I think
a.
that's a better option than the Lego.
Well, yeah, they said that they had a thing where they were going to buy me a Lego set and send me a piece a day in the mail. Just keep sending me a piece until it all goes together. I'm like, he's like, this could take forever. So
The Batman car would have taken him 12 years.
I mean, you still would have lost a piece anyway. So.
yeah, probably.
Speaking of Lego Birch,
Oh,
yes.
when's that coming?
When's that motorcycle Lego stream?
Yeah. Next Birch meet, we have to have a competition between the two. 100%. We'll
So,
stream it.
Between
I'm gonna
who
have
two?
to assemble this on when I go live.
There
I
you
don't know how
go.
well you can see it.
Is that like a model
Yeah.
engine?
Yeah, it's
model
got
engine.
lights and everything in it. So the lights must flash with the combustion and everything. It says ages 8+, so it's gonna take me like 8 years to
I,
get it.
run
I, I
alcohol
think
or what?
you just meet that age limit. So
By height or maturity?
yes.
Oh, that light is bothering me.
You should put that model under the hood of your Tesla and take it to a car meet.
Oh, you don't think I won't?
You can't take a Tesla to a car meet.
Nina said never again. No more Lego in our house.
Oh, you've just opened Pandora's box.
I was hopeful that when we were talking about trips that we were all going on, that Birch was going to say the one that he went to the middle of the river or whatever.
That's
Remember when he threw the what are you throwing darts, right?
Oh, the dart?
Yeah. And the first trip was
What?
supposed to be in the
Oh.
lake.
Chesapeake Bay.
Yeah.
yeah.
I
We
mean,
need
that
more
was-
of those.
Harry.
That was the
middle.
rules. Actually sent
Wait.
Cody Peaches to a game.
That was a good video. I like that video.
Yeah, we need more of those.
Yes.
Yeah, they're fun, but that's kind of what we were saying about there's certain trips you just do for yourself. Those videos are great, but the amount of time that they take and how crap they do in comparison, it's like
Why even bother?
almost not even worth it to just film days like that anymore.
Right.
That's fair.
I've got
Like,
to where
I
I
can
put a lot
do
of
it.
that stuff over on my Raw channel just because I don't want to edit it. I'll just throw it out there, and if people watch it, they watch it. I could care less. I mean, it's nice for the
Yeah.
engagement, but the editing vampire just makes it not worth it.
Life of Birch Raw channel.
There'd be so many f-bombs.
Is there an Indian there?
What was that?
There'd be so
Is
many
there an
f-bombs on that channel.
Something about
Yeah,
raw?
there's totally an innuendo there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might do a second channel for trips like that, but who knows? Sometimes they do well. 99% of the time, they do so badly that it's not even worth the time that it takes. And I can do a 15-minute talking head moto vlog talking about some kind of topic, and it does better and leaves more time to work on bikes and stuff. So
Right.
we'll see.
Gotta get that YouTuber internet, man. I just got 2 gig.
What was
I got fiber over here with 2 gig downloads, 2 gig uploads.
Yeah, you was showing us the other
Great.
day. It was crazy.
Download Call of Duty
Upgraded
of 3.
to, yeah, I upgraded to Easy Fiber several months back, almost a year ago now. 8 gig up, 8 gig down, symmetric.
That's great.
It's
God.
fast. It's fast. The problem is most of the equipment you're plugging into it doesn't run that fast anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Most,
I had to get
you're
a
posted for a gigabit, so.
yeah, I had to get an upgrade for my computer because my computer only had a 1 gig port, so I had to upgrade to 2.5 gigs so I get that speeds. But yeah, it was worth
I have
the
to dump mine
upgrade.
into a 10 gig aggregation switch, and then from there, I break it out to other 10 gig and 2.5s because nothing else is going to talk at 10 gig.
Can we translate this out of nerd? How fast can I scroll on Facebook Marketplace? How many clicks per minute can I click on Facebook
Actually, you know what? That's a
Marketplace?
good point. He shouldn't get anything faster than what he's got if he's already buying as much as he has been, because it would
You
make it even quicker.
you need to go to dial-up.
Yeah.
It's an upgrade, I swear.
Fortunately, I'm too broke to be spending money on Marketplace anyway, so the internet isn't a concern.
He says that in a week.
Marketplace any
Yeah.
good up there?
What
Do
was
you
that?
actually find decent deals, or like real deals on Marketplace up there? Because down here in Texas, Houston area in particular, it's probably 9 out of 10 of them are scams. You got people on there that are just selling crap,
Marketplace.
or they're just lying. So
Just got to
I
be
don't-
good at weeding through it.
See, he says he's never going to go on it again. And then, like a week later, I just found this Marketplace deal I couldn't pass up.
Yeah, it's a new video that comes
Well,
out. I just bought.
Somebody needs to make a AI generated picture of Birch scrolling through Facebook Marketplace with bloodshot eyes and everything, like just.
I mean, say whatever
doesn't
you
need
like.
to
He
be
always gets the good deals, right?
You know, I came very close to recently getting it was a 2006 Honda Big Ruckus for $500 on Facebook Marketplace. I wasn't able to pull the trigger fast enough on it, but the reason it was so cheap is because they had lost the title, and then they lost the keys to it, so it had been sitting for like 2 years.
So
So
it was stolen.
no. They gave the VIN, and I ran the VIN through my work because I worked at Florida Highway Safety. So I ran the VIN. It's not stolen or nothing. So I wasn't able to pull the trigger fast enough, but that would have been a steal.
Right.
You don't need an AI for the photo. Just give me until 2 a.m. tonight. That's what Nina said.
pretty much.
He's getting trolled.
Quasi, what do you use for GPS on the bike besides your phone?
If I use a dedicated GPS, it's the Garmin Zumo XT. I've got the little 396, which is the smaller 4.3-inch screen, but the XT is a really good device. Very good.
Yeah.
Very bright. The interface is fast. It works well.
Yeah, I'm just over here using Apple Maps. I'm not
See,
cool.
Well, on longer road trips, if you're relying only on your phone and you run out of cell coverage or data coverage specifically, then the map doesn't update unless you've downloaded it and cached it on your phone. So that's problematic when you're going across the country.
Yeah. What one do you use for that? What was it again?
Garmin Zumo XT,
Oh, okay.
really good. It's excellent.
The
I usually
XT
run
was really
two though at
fun,
the same time. I'll pre-program my route on the XT and have it giving me turn by turn or whatever. But then I also run Google Maps or something else, Waze in the background, because it'll alert you to traffic hazards and stuff like that that the Garmin doesn't know about.
That's what we ended up doing when we ended up going down to Annapolis, right? I had Waze going, and then Tim had his, I think it's Garmin. You have to have both.
Yep.
Yeah, Waze is the way to go because it tells you where cops are, so you can just speed until it tells you not to.
Well, yeah, just in case you have to pass a car, right? So.
But that's only when you're in Mexico, not
yeah,
in
okay.
the U.S. You don't do that in the
And that's
U.S.
assuming that other people are actually contributing to the process. Because if they're not contributing to the process, then you're the sucker that gets hit.
Correct. Do you guys have a problem
Well,
down
that's
in
why
the States with that?
What's that?
Do you guys have a problem
I said
down in the
that's
States with that? Sorry, I don't know who he's talking to.
Go ahead,
Problem in the
Birch.
States as far as getting hit with cops, or what do you mean?
No, with actually people not documenting it, because like up here, it's always documented. Like the guy will get.
It depends
He's
on
not
where
even
you are.
parked yet. Okay.
Yeah. It depends on where you are. In the big cities, there's usually a lot of people running it and reporting. But when you're out on the road in the middle of nowhere, lots of older people and country bumpkins and stuff like that aren't running Waze and they're not contributing. So
Nina asked, "What do you use for when you're doing like the follow thing? For when you're like follow you on GPS, what do you use for that?"
question for me?
Yeah.
Oh, like during those long trips when I'm going
Yeah,
across the
when you live
country, I
stream it.
have a yeah, I have a what's it called? The SIZApp, SIZZAPP SIZApp GPS tracker, and it does real time updates. It's LTE, so anywhere you've got 4G coverage, it's able to send its updates. And I run a Android emulator on my PC to capture that screen, and then I just share that out through OBS.
Okay,
So
cool.
I'm just capturing an Android screen to get the live track.
Because I remember also seeing the, which I thought was really cool. Like you could connect your phone to your desktop, and then you were able to edit like anything that you had to, like as far as, or I might be wrong.
Yeah, I had somebody that was helping me with the stream and change things at certain points, but I used a plugin called what is it? Video Ninja, and that allows you to use your phone as a remote camera, and you just tie that straight into OBS. So OBS uses the camera source that's waiting for the connection to come in from a remote, and then you just send it from your phone, and it streams to your PC, and then your PC does the encode and sends out to whatever the streaming platform is. So that allowed me to have a remote camera.
That's really cool. Yeah, I thought that was awesome when you were showing me that. I was like, the heck?
When it worked, yeah.
Yeah.
I had problems with it not working when I wanted it to work.
Yeah.
Or the audio would get screwed up and I wasn't getting audio, so that was a little annoying. But
The SysApp Lite is 251, and the Max, which is more future-proof, is 345. If anybody wants to know.
ooh, they've gone up. It was 219 or 225 or something like that, but it's a one-time purchase. Lifetime, there's no subscription or anything like that. So you're paying for the device and lifetime service. They
They do
cover
have
all
a
the LTE charges.
I like
they
that.
have a banner on their page right now saying you can get it at the old price of 275, but it says euros, not dollars, so that might not apply to us.
Gotcha. Yeah, I can't complain. They sent that one to me as a demo, and I plugged them during the first time I used it riding across the country, so it was a freebie for me.
Yeah, that's something I want to do is actually do a cross country trip. The only problem with me trying to do that is more of a work thing, like trying to get off the time for work because it's just basically impossible for where I'm at with such a small business to like be able to be gone for weeks at a time. There was one, was it? It was last year. Well, I guess now 2 years ago. But anyway, there was like a week in July where I could actually try to do it with how 4th of July fell and everything else. And I was like, I could have almost 14 days to do it. And I'm like, that's
But
pretty
you got to
hard.
deal with traffic.
Exactly. So I'm like, it's just trying to plan is rough, but it's something it's on my bucket list to do for sure. There was there was a guy, and I can't remember his name, but he like started a YouTube channel just to post the video of him like going across country, and it was awesome. It was awesome to just watch him. You know, he's not like vlogging it or anything. He's just going and just doing it. I was like, that's really
What was he riding? What was the bike or the genre?
I think it was a Triumph, if I'm not mistaken. He started in New York City, then went west, and then came down, like on California, San Diego, and all that, and then rode back up. So he went that way. It was awesome though. Really good video.
It's like a tiger, maybe.
I can't
Like
I can't
adventure
remember.
touring?
It's been a while since I've watched that video, but
Mm.
it definitely inspired me, and I was like, dang, I want to do that. I want to do that so bad. So
Yeah, I'd love to do the lower 48 tour. There's supposed to be a mathematically optimized route to
Mhm.
hit all 48 states, and it's like 6,000 miles and change or something
Mhm.
like that. Uh, and there's two different options to it. There's one that takes you through the capitals of each state, and then the other one's just through the corners or whatever. But
yeah,
you get to hit all 48 states in minimum number of miles, but
Mhm.
still a hell of a tour.
Yeah.
It'd be probably
Yeah.
at least a couple of weeks. So.
Yeah, the idea of a cross country trip sounds cool, but then in practice, I know I'd be miserable the entire time. So it's not even like, is it worth it just to say I did it? You know?
For me it would be like, I would be like, I did that. Like, I would take pictures along the way, like thumbnail kind of thing, but like more so put it into like a photo album, and when I'm 80 and my grandkids go, hey grandpa, did you do anything cool when you were our age? And I'll be like, I did this, and I could show them. I think that'd be really cool to have. So something I want to do.
Well, my
See,
plan for that I wasn't able to do in what 2020, I guess, end of 2020 or 2021. Sorry, my son is blinding me pulling in the driveway here. Um, I wanted to do a 50-50 tour. So, 50-year-old guy on a 50-year-old bike doing the lower 48. And I bought a bike to do it on. It's a 1970 Honda Scrambler 175. And I was going to do it retro, full retro, analog, not even take a GPS with me. Do it paper maps, the whole damn
Dang,
thing, paper map.
that'd be
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Be stressful as heck, but that'd be a lot of fun to do.
So if I do it next year, it'll be a 55-55 tour, 55-year-old guy on a 55-year-old bike.
There you go. Nate, I have a challenge for you. You need to beat the cannonball record on a motorcycle.
Oh no, that's dangerous.
FJR 1300, 32 hours,
Yeah.
32 minutes.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's New York to California.
I learned when I was riding down to North Carolina, I can push from West Virginia to Lynchburg, Virginia. From gas pump to gas pump was 202 miles, and I still had about 30 to 50 miles of range left, and that was averaging about 75 miles an hour. I mean, tow in a trailer, have some extra fuel, plumb a couple fuel lines in, hold my beer.
Did you? There's a video. There's a video of a dude who has the record for doing like cross country, just straight shot, and he had like basic. He started at night, but he had like night vision stuff on to where he was able to like hunker down and then just go. And I was like, I can't remember the time, but it was nuts. I was like, there's no way. Oh my god. You would know more than any of us. Oh, kettle cook, bro. Man after my own heart.
In Texas, if the trailer is under 350 pounds gross
I think
weight,
I got
it
it.
doesn't need a tag.
Okay.
Interesting.
Sorry guys. I don't know why it just stopped capturing that. That's weird.
That's actually kind of nice.
So obviously it's work then. You want to go to Seattle because of
I
work?
started it. Now Fran's chewing. Birch took off. He's probably going to get snacks too. A bad influence.
What was the question, Nick?
Seattle. Why are you looking at that? Is it work or is it family? What are you looking for?
When work offers an egregious number and says, "Hey, you can come make almost twice what you're making now. Do you want to?" You say yes, because part of that would be re-signing my employment agreement.
Mm-hmm.
And it would be very cushy in Seattle. Like, 2-3 months, save up enough money, that would be buy Goldwing in cash kind of money.
Okay.
Which that's kind of the goal. Which I guess here's the question: if someone were to buy a new Goldwing, DCT or manual?
DCT.
Why?
Because you get the 7-speed DCT on it, and just that big of a bike. I would just say personally, DCT is just going to be so much better for how big the bike is. You also get that. Do you get the electronic reverse on the manual?
Yes, you do.
You would, yes.
Yeah, they all have it now. They're too heavy to
Okay.
pull back by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would still say DCT because it's a cruiser. You're just wanting to go. I mean,
See,
unless you really want to shift,
I
sure,
I
but
just
I would go
feel
DCT.
I feel like it's just for me it's just a familiarity, like just I'm so used to that, and like slow speed maneuvering I feel like for me just feels better on having a manual and then riding the back brake. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it is to each their own type situation. Me, definitely always going to be DCT because I work in IT. I have carpal tunnel on my left hand.
Yeah,
That
makes
big of a
sense for you.
bike, I'm not pulling that clutch. Like I am
Sure.
not pulling that clutch on that big of a bike.
Yeah.
So I agree with you in that, as far as like your hand issues and stuff like that, but it also comes with a huge issue as well. So it depends on how you ride. If you do a lot of slow speed maneuvers and stuff like that, you are actually going to damage, or not damage, you're going to wear out those clutch points faster. So there's a huge problem right now that they're having on a lot of them that they're getting locked in certain gears, and you have to back them up to get them out. And they're finding that some of the solenoids are having problems as well as the clutch packs. So it's another thing that can break on the bike. If you could do manual, I would say do the manual because it's a lot less or a lot more forgiving. But again, the technology for that it's very tempting. So like a lot of people with like the Rebel 1100s and the DCT, if you talk to people like for example Gus swears by it, absolutely loves it. But I also have a guy that I know that has had nothing but problems with his.
Mm-hmm.
And it's because of the way they're riding. So Gus does a lot of like trips and driving and whatever, where this guy does a lot of short trips, and the short trips are the death of that engine, right? And that's the problem with it. So with the Goldwing, if you're going to be doing a lot longer rides and stuff, it makes sense to do the DCT. But if you're riding around in town, no.
See, if I'm getting a Goldwing though, that's going to be a secondary bike for
Right.
those trips specifically.
Right.
So
Right.
that's why I would definitely still do the DCT. But I mean, it is to each their own type situation as well. I think it'd be cool if in the future they end up putting the E clutch as an option
Right.
on the Goldwing. I think that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
another
I
consideration
love
with the
that.
DCT is with warranty or without warranty. You
Right.
don't want to go replacing DCT components without a warranty. It gets real expensive real quick.
Yeah.
There's a lot of components there too that can go wrong, right? So that starts to add up pretty quick.
So, Birch, I know you're eating, but question for you: are you gonna get the new Rebel in the orange, or are you
Can't say that.
you gonna skip out on that?
They're offering
Theoretically,
it in
if
the
you
orange.
want.
Undecided. Probably I will. All right, I went to a dealer like 2 days ago. If we're being honest,
It's just us. It's just us.
Yeah.
so like I don't know because obviously if it weren't for the channel, I wouldn't be getting one, and by no means am I anywhere remotely close to having enough money to get it. But I feel like it's one of those things where it would end up paying for itself because I'm the Rebel guy. So, and if it weren't for the channel, I absolutely would not get the orange one. I think it's insane that you're paying. The DCT is already what, like $1,000 more than the manual or something like that, and then to get the orange, you have to get the SE, and that's an extra $800 for what? A fancy color, a seat that you're gonna swap out anyway, fork boots that don't look good, bar end mirrors that I could get myself on Amazon for $40, and like not really much else. But if I get it for the channel, I feel like I should get the SE because then I would have a pre-2025 manual and a 25 plus DCT SE. So it would cover like the full range of everything. Being able to compare manual to DCT, being able to compare the first gen to the second gen, being able to compare a base model to the SE. So yeah, I'm considering finding a way to make it happen. If for no reason, I mean, like, yeah, I can compare everything for the channel, but like also the companies that I work with being able to say like the riser thing that I figured out for my bike, being able to say, okay, do those risers work even with the new screen, or does the new screen have different attachment points and stuff like we were talking about earlier of like, okay, the new foot pegs that are 50 millimeters further up or whatever, can you just put that directly on the old Rebel and it still works? Are the seats interchangeable? All that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So if I had the money for it, I would have already put a deposit down on one, but I don't have the money for it, so I'm waiting for like the perfect dosage of manic episode and fuck it to like combine to where I walk into a dealer on that day and they have one and I sign my soul away for it.
You
Yeah.
also got to remember it comes with those nice bronze wheels, man.
I mean,
Yeah,
I like the bronze
I
wheels.
don't even count. They already came on the 1100 Ts before, so it's like Honda just taking stuff that they already had in inventory and being like, we could say that's an upgrade too.
So do
I
you
mean-
think with the new big screen, do you think they're eventually going to bring the e-clutch to it?
I think that's why they did it. Yeah,
I am
But
shocked they
I
didn't do that
don't-
already.
yeah, but also even if they do, we won't get it first. So like the 25 pluses have slightly different engines overseas, but we don't get it yet. So like they have a different compression ratio for different low and mid end torque, and we don't get that yet. So that's another reason why I wasn't going to do it, because I'm like, okay, let me wait until they get that engine here. But at the same time, it's like, who really cares? Because by the time that you get like a reflash or something, you're gonna have more power than that will anyway.
Mhm.
So, but yeah, if and when they do the E clutch, I'm sure it'll be the typical story where Europe and everything gets it a year before we do. So who knows? But I'd love to see E clutch on the Rebel. I think that would be sick.
Well, I will be looking in my notifications for the video. So
Yeah, I
Well, you're
I
on
had,
Patreon. You'll find out before everybody else.
hey, there we go.
see I had a before I had my Rebel 1100, I had a CB 650R, and when I watched the video of you riding it with the e-clutch, it's made people want again, and I really shouldn't get one because I did some stuff on that bike that is the reason why I ended up selling it, because I was gonna get myself in trouble that I didn't want to get into.
Fine.
Dude, the E clutch is so good.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's all
It's
legal
so-
until you get caught.
Listen, I shouldn't be able to have a bike that goes 90 plus in third gear.
It's Florida. Laws don't count.
There's
Florida, man.
suggestions, yes.
I mean, technically, the Rebel 1100 will do almost 90 in third gear.
Right.
Yeah, and then you get to 100 and it's like, yeah, nothing.
Yeah.
Well, that's why you have the fix for that. I know a guy that has that.
I was gonna say it'll keep pulling. It's just whether or not you have the balls to let it keep doing it, because it's so sketchy.
Just put some gym weights on the end of the bars to weight it front end down a little bit.
Yeah.
I would-
Just put a spoiler on the front of it. That'll drag. You know?
I am
Right.
shocked. I am shocked that nobody has actually done a stabilizer for that 1100 yet. Like, it is crazy to me. Right out of the box, they are so light in that front. I know you can adjust the suspension to kind of help with that, and that tire is garbage. But for like just an aftermarket accessory, like every other company can do that, right? Honda just is like ignored essentially for like the aftermarket and stuff for that.
Yeah, I've wanted to do a steering stabilizer, but honestly, now that I have the new tires, and I haven't even messed with the suspension. The tires are the biggest thing that helped get rid of like the light front end feeling, but also I swear the risers, unless it's all in my head, the risers seemed to make a huge difference because like on a sport bike, you can kind of grip the tank with your legs and not put as much weight on the bars. With the Rebel, that's not really possible. So I feel like part of it was also like inadvertently putting, like having to put some weight on the bars, if that makes sense. With the risers, I have 6-inch up, 1-inch back. So it feels like I can lean forward, but my hands can stay light on the risers, if that makes sense. So like allegedly, on one of my last trips to Mexico, allegedly, I could hold 115 on the highway and be chilling. Not chilling, but like before I would shudder at the thought of crossing 100 because the front end felt so sketchy. I can allegedly hold at 110 and not fear for my life after the tires and the risers.
Yeah, so like when I had Tim's 1100T for a little bit, right, doing a bunch of stuff to it. I noticed that there's a couple things that actually helped. The risers actually did help a lot. But the other thing was the how light it is. Even pulling in the clutch would change your momentum a little bit, right? It'll start to feel a little bit squirrely, right? Higher speeds, and that quick shifter was unreal how smooth that was at higher speeds. But it was crazy to me that like my little baby 500 was so much more capable as far as stability on the highway. It was just nuts, right? So I mean, there has to
I
be
think
better ways to do it.
I think it's mainly just because the 500 just doesn't have any power on the highway. So like if you're on the 1100 and you're just holding steady at 100, it's stable. It's as soon as you give any inputs that it becomes unstable, almost because it still has so much power at that speed.
Yep.
That it takes
you get
just
rearward
enough
weight
weight.
bias under acceleration. Yeah, it lightens the front end a little bit too much under hard acceleration.
Even without that though, on his 1100T, that's why I was saying. So I agree with that as far as acceleration and stuff. That 100%, that is a huge factor for most of that. The problem with it is I wasn't accelerating. I was just driving. You hit a bump, you hit a groove in the road, anything. It was just like I'm doing the same roads. That 500 is so much more stable. Now again, it's not a stock 500. Okay, like the suspension I have on the 500 day and night. I understand that. But it was just shocking how, as a stock bike, how unstable that is from factory was crazy. And I think that's probably why they have that governor at 100. Because, I mean, it becomes very scary if you're on. Like, how many people are inexperienced riders jumping on that 1100 going, I'll just put it in rain mode? I mean, there's a lot of bike there, right? And you're going to get yourself in a lot of trouble if you think, okay, well, I'm good with rain mode for the first week, throw it in sport mode because I'm confident now. There's a lot of problems there, right? But
yeah, I had my Rebel in rain mode when I first got it, and I had it in that mode for almost maybe a month and a half, maybe 2 months. And then I remember I was like, "Oh, there's no traffic around. I'm just going to put it in sport mode and just see what the difference is, cuz I honestly, brand new rider, this is my first bike. I just, just seeing what seeing what it was like. I remember being in first and then accelerating and then flip to second and pull the throttle as much as I would in rain mode, and then I just took off. I was like, holy crap. I was like, that was fun. I was like, yeah, I'm just going to leave that in sport mode and enjoy it. And
yeah, so we did that test on the 500 versus the 1100 in rain mode, and the 500 is actually very it's very similar. Off of a dig, the 500 actually beats it, but in the rain mode, it really neuters that bike, right? So the problem with it is once they do switch it to sport mode, you need that limiter at 100 because I mean you can that bike can get away on you real quick, right? Especially on a new rider, right? So
Wait, but rain mode doesn't cut the power back. Rain mode only cuts
throttle
back
response.
how responsive the throttle is.
Yeah,
So how'd they do the test?
I did. I
Because if
did the
you
actual.
if you open,
Yeah, sorry. So we ended up doing a dig, and now there was a couple times that he would beat me, but that's because I lifted the front wheel up on the 500. But once you actually get the 500, like if you keep it down, um, every single time we ended up leaving, I beat him. The only time he would catch me is when we were, I mean, highway speeds, right? So 90 kilometers an hour or higher. Then he'd pass me.
but he had it wide open.
Yep.
It should still have full power wide open, regardless of gear or
Just
mode.
slip and stuff like that, right? So it does catch things, right? So you can. It's kind of like when you have an eco mode in a car. When you step on it, you get acceleration, but there's a lag there, right? So that's where he's now chasing me. Where any
Was
like
it a
regular
manual or
mode
DCT?
is manual.
Hmm.
And I'm getting yes and no. It does cut power by cutting available throttle input, is what I'm being told. Rain mode max throttle input's 50%.
So the odd thing though too is the non-North American bikes don't have that limiter, or it's not as low. I wonder
I was
why.
gonna say
So
that
like
might be a. Is that a
in
Canada thing? Because
so our rev limiter in Canada
full power.
is 170 some odd kilometers, which is 100 and whatever, like it's over 100. So the limiter in Canada is higher than the ones in the States, but not by much.
Unless Tim was being a baby and didn't
105.
pull it all the way.
It wasn't Tim, it was Rob, and
Oh,
again,
okay.
he's a confident rider, yeah. Yeah, I have a video on it. The 500 versus the 11. 82 kilometers an hour. What he's saying? No, 182 kilometers where the cutout is on the 1100, which is
We need freedom
113.
units.
what was that?
113.
Okay, so
Speaking of throttle limiters, Birch, did you ever decide to do the More Mafia tune on your Rebel? No.
Still not sure.
I've been thinking about it, but I haven't really decided.
Yeah.
The interesting thing about the throttle maps or the duty cycle, whatever you want to call it, inside of the ECU is they found that at wide open throttle, even in performance or sport mode, whatever, it's only opening up the throttles to like 85%. So the throttle by wire is not sending 100%. So they're able to eke some more power out of it that way.
Yeah, I watched the videos and I'm just not sold on it. I feel like he's more about power at like whatever cost happens, you know? Like I don't need a whole lot more power.
I don't want
rather
it
get
for grenade. Yeah.
ability.
Yeah. Yeah. I'd rather keep it
And so
reliable and rideable and not on the bleeding edge, you know.
yeah. So still not entirely sold, but I do have a spare ECU ready to go just in case.
That's why Power Commander is the way to go.
yeah, I was told the fuel it really becomes a fuel eater, right?
It does eat a little bit more.
You know.
Yeah.
It's best to just go to an actual tuner, to be dead honest. Like, Bert, you were saying there's a couple tuners around your area. You're better off just to go there. Get a proper tuner
Yeah.
for the actual bike.
That's what I want to do, but also being the YouTube rebel guy, I feel like part of me almost feels like I owe it to people to like get the widely available tune, if for no reason other than to be able to like compare it to what like a local tuner would do, if that makes sense.
Yep.
Because like it's nice to make a video and be like, oh, I went to a local tuner and they did a really good tune on my bike. But for the people who don't have a tuner close to them or available, I feel like it would be nice to do a video with the reflash, so that even if it's not as good, there's still an option.
That's where you sell the life of a birch tune as after you pull it out of your power commander.
That's what I want to do, but we've talked about that too. That's the lots of my part of my reluctance to get a reflash is that I feel like I still, before I get rid of my power commander, I should get a tune done with the power commander with the high flow filter and the slip on. That way, even once I go to the reflash, there's now a tune available for everybody else who decides to keep the power commander. But then it's like, well, then I'm paying hundreds of dollars for the power commander tune, and then just to end up taking it off at some point, just to pay hundreds of dollars for this flash, just to pay hundreds of dollars to have my bike tuned by the local person. So who knows? I need to start hitting people up for sponsorships.
Agreed.
Like,
Yeah,
give me
dyno time isn't cheap either.
You're
Mhm.
big
do
enough.
what?
What are you doing?
Well, it's hard to reach out to more Mafia and go, hey, can I get a reflash for free, even though I plan on taking it out of the bike and potentially like listing the bad things about it. And I already have a relationship with somebody. Well, not a relationship. I have a contact at DynoJet, but it's hard to be like, hey, can you sponsor this video where I'm going to be dyno tuning my bike and then taking the power commander off of it, you know? So who knows?
Just leave a reasonable amount of time between that video and taking out the power commander and going to the more mafia.
I mean, or you can just be honest to them. Literally sit there and say, hey, this is what I'm looking at. This is what I'm doing. Would you be willing to actually have a conversation? There's a lot of people, like, again, I've dealt with quite a few little smaller companies, and they do like actually the honesty, right? Because there are many videos that I've made that I will not release to anybody because I was not happy with the product. It's that simple. They sent me a product. I didn't like it. I offered to send them back. If they want it back, they get it back. If they don't, then it gets thrown in the trash, right? If you're honest to them and whatever, he could say no, pound salt, but I mean, without asking, you're not going to know, right? He might be like, yeah, absolutely, I'm full 100% buy my product. I agree that this is the best thing you're going to do, and say, yeah, send it to more people. You're the rebel guy, right? So it might be beneficial for him, right?
Yup.
Yeah, yeah. Just say you're going to do a comparison. Perfect.
I mean, you have different, different pros to each. Where like with the power commander, you can do a highway tune and a city tune, whereas with the more
Mhm.
mafia, you're stuck with whatever you got.
Right, and they're tuning differently too. Like you were saying, Aaron, with the 80% throttle response, they're removing that. It could be things that, like, I know some of his is based off of having, I think, the Black Widow headers and a specific exhaust. Again, there's tolerances in the engine that you're not going to be able to account for, but it'll be as close as you possibly can to an actual dyno tune at like a lot cheaper price. These are things that he might look at and go, yeah, there's going to be a slight difference here or there, but let's try it, right? He might literally turn to you and say, I think that my product is fantastic, and I swear behind it. Let's do it. You might actually be surprised with what he says, right? I don't know him, but
So on a side note, there's a comment in here I wanted to address from Tim Wagster.
Mhm.
Is who will add a turbo to the Rebel 1100 first? And he says on the Rebel 1100 is my vote, considering how many upgrades he's done.
That guy's got too much money into that bike now. That'll be
Yeah,
a
Gus would
doublet.
probably be the guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
I vote for him to do it. Can
Oh,
we
yeah, he should
volunteer
definitely
him
do it.
as tribute? I would
Yes,
love
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Somebody was
Yeah, what
selling
would
a
actually make
turbo
a lot more power? Oh, go ahead.
on Facebook
Sorry.
Marketplace.
A Turbo
Wait, what,
500.
March?
Yeah, somebody was
Turbo
selling a Turbo Rebel 500 on Facebook Marketplace. How
And
the
you
hell
didn't
it
buy
ran, I have no idea. Huh?
And you
I
didn't
tried
buy
to.
it? I know Honda has
He
had
was
some
in.
stuff in their copyrights for either a turbocharged or supercharged bike using, I thought, the 1100, but it's probably them just sitting on patents.
Yeah. Did they just
I feel like
patent? Sorry, Birch. Go ahead.
I feel like most stuff where people are turboing or supercharging stuff lately is just for like fuel economy and not fun though. At least I guess
Yeah.
for cars. But like I couldn't see Honda coming out with a turbo that's like, oh yeah, we're getting performance, you know?
Yeah.
Because it's like
Yeah,
if we
it's not the
performance,
8.2 and it's not a
it's
GPZ
the
750
full power.
anymore. Yeah.
But didn't they just patent a, what was it, a V3?
Yeah, that weird thing.
Yeah, with the charger
Yep.
Super
on it.
electric supercharged. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think we'll ever get that over here?
I'm sure that'll come eventually, but that won't be in anything but like a sport bike.
That's fair. It'd be really cool though.
It'd be interesting to hear like what the actual numbers are and how it rides and stuff, the pros
yeah.
and cons on it.
I think the only people I've seen do 3-cylinder was it the Yamahas doing the inline 3?
The Tracer 900 GT is an inline 3, yeah.
Yeah.
Triumph as well.
I mean,
you got a
They
lot
Triumph,
of
yeah.
threes.
Oh, the
Triumph
Rocket.
3, yeah.
Well, Honda's not
Yamaha.
new to these. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just naming different bikes that had threes in them.
Honda's not new to these unique engine designs. If we go back to early 2000s in the ST 1300 or the Pan European, depending on where you live, that had the V4 in it, and that was a competent bike and competent motor for the longest time until they dropped it.
See the unique motor, the unique engine that Honda made that I would love to get my hands on one day is that the oval piston engine they did. I forgot what it was for. I watched like a whole
RCs,
like
yeah.
yeah, I watched like a whole like I think it was like an hour-long documentary on it, and I think it's the coolest freaking thing, and I would love to ride one of those.
Cool, but they had lots of ring problems with them.
And still, I mean, rotaries have apex seal problems, and I love rotary engines. It's I like the stuff that breaks. It's
You must have loved
Explains a
Harley.
lot about you.
Must love Harley.
Oof.
no, I don't like Harley at all. But I'd love to ride that oval piston one day because it's freaking awesome. But and then yeah, someone over here is mentioning unique designs as the Ninja 7 Hybrid, which
Yeah,
is way too expensive.
Right,
there's
right,
a
right.
that's got a lot of room for growth if they can get it perfected, but it's not dollar for pound.
Yeah, it's got room for growth, but that thing, what is it, like 10 grand for like a 350?
13.
Yeah, 13 grand. It's like a 350cc hybrid. Eh,
But I guess in the EV boost mode, that thing will move.
Oh yeah, I know it will, but it's. I don't think that's worth it. 13 grand for that? That's ridiculous.
I'm probably going to get that new Civic Sport Hybrid, whatever, the 25 Civic Sport. It's faster than the SI as far as 0 to 60 times are concerned, and it gets pretty much 50 miles to the gallon no matter how you drive it. So I think I'm going to get one of those.
That'd be cool. I'd love to get, like a sedan, something like that, but with my need to be able to tow from time to time, the smallest thing I can do is a SUV.
The amount of torque they're getting out of these small engines are actually pretty crazy too, right?
Yeah, well, switching gears into cars. talking about performance and hybrids and all that.
Yeah.
I've been thoroughly unimpressed with my 2020 Accord 2.0 Touring that I've got.
Mhm.
It's nice, it's smooth, it's fast, it's stupid fast for what it is, but economy is terrible. I mean,
Oh yeah.
terrible. Its lifetime average is like 23 miles to the gallon. Are you shitting me? That's crazy.
Yeah. That's
Wow.
For a
the case right now.
hybrid?
No, it's not a hybrid.
Not the
No,
case right
okay.
now.
2.0 turbo. It's got 290 horsepower or whatever.
Is that the?
But
No, that's a two
economy just
liter. Yeah.
sucks, especially around town. It just sucks.
Is
On the
it like
highway,
a
you can run 85 miles an hour on cruise control and get 36 miles to the gallon all day long. In town, you'll barely crack 20,
Mm.
and not even driving it hard.
Jeez.
is that like a billion speed transmission, or is it just how it is?
7 speed automatic.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'd see the what is it? The new Tacoma. It's got a four banger turbo now. You can't even get the V6 on it, which I know it puts more power out than the V6, but it's emissions, man. Emissions suck.
There's no replacement for there's no replacement for displacement. You're towing something, you're going to have that motor under boost for how long? Like when we built that or when we built that 351 Windsor and that Bronco to make 500 horsepower, that was naturally aspirated, full or fully bored out. You don't want a turbo, you don't want a supercharger. It's
Mhm.
more components to break, it's more things to go wrong, it's more tuning you need to do. Especially when we yanked the EFI on it and put a Holly 4-bar carburetor on it. But you're putting all these small motors under that much more pressure. Look at what GM's doing with the inline four. Yeah, it's an inline four turbo in the new half-ton Silverados, and they're still advertising the same towing capacity as my 5.3 V8. My 5.3 V8 can scream at 4,000 RPM climbing a sidling hill all day. I don't care. V8s are grunty and need to make revs to make power, but that four-cylinder is going to be under how many pounds of boost? I mean, head gasket has left the chat. Like 50, 60,000 miles is going to be a top end rebuild.
I
On
yeah, that
top
just
of GM's known issues with their top ends right now with blowing out lifters.
Yeah, but what's the boost pressure that it's actually going through? Most of these turbos are very small, right? So, like for example, like the three cylinders, and they're actually doing four cylinders now. They're removing the six cylinders in the Pathfinders. They're moving them down to a four with a turbo. The turbos of the past are not the turbos of today, right? Turbos of today are not more like they're designed more for a fuel economy would be one, but their performance output they could do a lot more than what they're actually sending out. So it's not a risk that you're going to do anything to that. It's more along the lines of what do they have? Like torque vectoring and stuff like that. They have like they're moving the cranks and stuff. That's the problem where you're going to have in that because you're adding another potential problem there. But like most of these turbo engines, like there's no problems with them. Like Honda's been doing turbos for years. Same with the rest of them, and there's really not no problems with them. Older turbos, yes, they would have oil problems and starvations and stuff like that. Additional pressures and blowing out head gaskets, that type of stuff. You don't see that often anymore.
Funny.
Well, on the turbo front, maybe, but as far as GDI is concerned, Honda, Toyota, all of them are getting their asses handed to them on longevity and warranty claims. In fact,
Well,
Honda has had several class action lawsuits levied against them just
yep,
over the
yep,
last handful of years
yeah. So
because
that's
of
on.
gasoline dilution issues due to GDI.
So
Now,
that's actually
also
the
bear.
So 2 seconds. That is so the Honda one that they're having right now is that V6 problem that they're having on the crank journals. They tried to get away with just measuring them. They failed on that. They have to replace them now. And the biggest problem they're having is they're trying to make it so then they have longer life as far as maintenance. So we used to do oil changes every 5,000 K. Now they're doing it every 16,000 K. And it's because you're competing with each other to be more equal, right, or stuff like that. So we have had engines coming from factory that are not even at their first oil change, that the oil is so sludged up already because of, again, short trips. You're getting a lot more moisture into the oil, and they're clogging up and stuff. So they're not being driven the way they're supposed to. They're not getting their proper heat cycles, and you're causing more problems with these engines that if you did an oil change a lot sooner, it'd be so much easier. But then it comes to the point of the cost of maintenance. So then it's a negative aspect. So if Honda says you need to do your oil change at 5,000 k, but Volkswagen says no, you need it done at 20,000 k, the guy that buying the car goes, well, why am I going to be spending additional money to service this thing when I'm going to trade the car in 3 years, right? So it becomes a different thing that way, right?
It's kind of like a similar issue with why the rotary never took off in mainstream, is because the rotary has to be driven a certain way to run
Yeah.
efficiently. Eh, Me personally, even when I had my Tacoma, which it was a 2020, I think it was, so it still had a V6, and they told me 10K for oil changes. I never gone more than 5K miles for oil changes, and I never will for anything because I mean, 3K used to be what I used to do for like my 98 Oldsmobile, whatever I had back then. But like 5K is the most I'm comfortable with. I think going the 10K, 20K miles for oil changes is just ridiculous,
Mm-hmm.
especially with these new Toyota uh, oils that are, what are they, like 0W8, that
Yeah,
are like
yeah,
just
yeah.
water pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
Well, GDI has introduced new issues. We're not talking about just oil change intervals here. GDI, you're getting direct injection into the cylinder, and it's bypassing intake tracks and intake valves. So you end up with EGR recirc problems and a lot of carbonization and stuff like that that never used to happen with traditional port injection. So GDI is a different animal, and Volkswagen, Toyota, Honda, they've all struggled through it over the last, 8 to 10 years. They're getting better now, but it's still an issue.
Yeah, they need to have a better way to actually, because you're not getting those washing of the valves anymore because the injection's after now. So if they ended up doing something as far as like having one injection port higher up and sprayed every, like, let's say 10% of the time, fuel economy would go down a little bit, but you would limit all of this carbon buildup and stuff on these engines as well, and they'd last longer. Like there used to be a system. I mean, Volkswagen and stuff does it. I tried to implement it at my dealer, but did not go very well with the walnut blasting to try and get some of this carbon off these valves. Uh, They just want to drive them to the ground. They don't care about that. Direct injection is very bad as far as that goes, but nobody seems to care, right? Which is crazy to me. You can save these engines, you can prolong this, but again, it goes down to maintenance. If you actually maintain the vehicle, bike or car, you can make that engine last a lot longer than the typical engine that's in that car, right? But getting
Quasi,
to do
when
some
you were
crazy
talking
here, yeah.
about the gas mileage, Nina said my 10-year-old Acura gets that. Quasi.
Well,
No
Yes,
kidding, man.
so the thing though
Well, I
there
mean,
is,
we decided in the pretext of this conversation to not get into politics, so I won't go into the politics side of things. But if we just look at EPA gas mileage figures, we've not gone up in the last 20 years. We've stayed
Mhm.
steady or gone down.
right.
Because I had a 1977 Honda Civic CVCC, little tiny four-cylinder buzz bomb that routinely got 56 miles to the gallon. Now, that's pre a lot of emissions, pre this,
Mhm.
pre that. But even then, I had a 1991 Honda Civic Si, 1.6 liter, and that thing routinely got 42 miles to the gallon. Where are we now? We're in cars that make more horsepower. They're supposedly cleaner, meaner, more efficient, and they're getting 24 miles to the gallon average.
They're
See,
also a
really?
lot
my
bigger.
my 2017 Mazda CX-5, which is an SUV,
Mhm.
averages 26. Like,
And I mean, the kicker there on a lot of that though is that in order to meet the emissions they need, they got to burn more fuel.
mhm,
Right.
Needs to burn
Well, and then
hotter.
you've got ethanol, which dilutes the BTU efficiency of the fuel and basically degrades it and turns it into mush, and you're getting less thermal effectiveness out of that fuel. So yeah, there's
mhm.
all kinds of little conspiracy rabbit holes to go down on that one.
This is why I
Oh,
burn
yeah.
electrons instead of gas.
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
okay,
You still burn
Okay.
gas.
okay.
You still burn gas. That's not an
Oh,
electric vehicle. You're
okay,
driving a
we got
natural gas vehicle.
Okay, yeah, exactly. Where do you get your electricity?
Hey,
everywhere.
Tesla boy.
Yeah, exactly.
Um. So
No such
I'm
thing
not
as an
pretending.
electric
I get
green
the idea.
so I know it's right now it's about 11 o'clock. So I didn't know if we wanted to maybe wrap some stuff up, but I had a good question that might wrap up the end of this, which I think for me has been a lot of fun, and I've had a lot of good time with this here. But the question I had was from TJ here, and he said, just thought it would be an interesting topic, but what helmet do you have, and why did you choose said helmet?
Okay. TJ, is that the Joseph?
That is the Joseph.
That is the Joseph. All right. So we're going to start with from the top.
Sure,
There you go.
I can
We'll be the last ones.
I can start with mine. So when I first started, like the helmet I got was the Shoei RF 1400. Love that helmet. Super quiet. And the reason why I got that helmet was just I wanted my head to be safe, so I spent the most money on my helmet. So I was like, okay, but I read the reviews. This is what, I feel like I'm gonna get. So I got that helmet to start out with, and then over time, the foam and everything had just made it to where the helmet was too big for me. So I wish I would have got one size smaller. I know I can get foam that I can redo that, and that's no big issue. But with that being said, I ended up giving my helmet to Jesse, my good friend, because his head's humongous, and it ended up fitting him really well. But we also wanted to just kind of he was having an issue, I thought, if I remember right, with his cardio and everything. We were just like, okay, well, let's quiet it down, and I think you'll enjoy this helmet, but I think it'll fit you better than it fits me. So that was the helmet I originally got, and that was over 2 years ago now. Now I have the Ruroc helmet, Atlas 4.0, and I have the Captain America one, because your boy loves Captain America, and as soon as they came out with that, there's no way I'm not getting that helmet. So I got that, and I have a transition visor, and absolutely love it. It's fantastic.
Transition's the way to go, in my opinion.
100%. I would show mine off, but mine is downstairs, and I started first, and I saw Birch got his, and I was like, dang, that's a good idea. Frick. So
Now you have time in the interim. Go get it.
yeah, go ahead, Slate. I'll go get mine.
Yeah, I used to try to do the bull crap of having my prescription sunglasses with me, so I popped those. Ooh, there you go.
Yeah, that one did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
Though.
That's crazy.
Always wear your helmet. Always wear the helmet.
That right there shows the importance of the full face.
Yeah, because if he didn't have a helmet, he wouldn't have a face.
I mean, it did his job, right? That's the whole point. So who's next?
You would be, because if we're going from the bottom up.
Okay, so I have a couple helmets, but I went originally. I was a Bell guy. I really enjoy the Bell quality. It actually was a pretty decent, cheap helmet. Actually worked quite well. I kind of liked the look of the Ruroc helmet to begin with, and I kind of wanted to try it because there was a lot of hype on it, to be that honest. So I ended up getting an Atlas 2, and that is the raw carbon. It's a little dirty, but raw carbon. And that actually worked quite well. Now I tried a couple different ones, Arai and Shui, and they were very comfortable, But again, it depends on who you talk to, right? They're what the RF 1400 or whatever the heck that one was. I
Yeah,
can't
that's what I
remember.
have.
Was fantastic. That helmet
Fantastic
is
helmet.
fantastic, but it's a lot more money, right? So you're looking at it. Okay, is it much different? So I did a little bit of research and whatever, and I ended up going because I had a Rock already. I went with the Atlas 3 or Atlas, yeah, Atlas 3. This helmet everyone hated on, right? So the Atlas 3, I got this one because it's actually a story, but
Tell the
I
story.
ended up getting. I ended up getting. So they ended up doing like a little challenge kind of thing. If you found the anarchy sign on their website and you were one of 10 people to put this discount code in at a specific time, you got 99% off. I was one of the 10 guys. So I got this helmet for I think $5. So I can't complain about it. And honestly, it's been one of my favorite helmets because I fixed it. The problem with the Atlas 3 was the inside. Everyone complained about it. Right from factory, they were supposed to be a specific helmet, uh, specific insides. They came and they shipped them out without it. So if you actually Google Ruroc helmets, you'll hear nothing but bad things about it, and it stemmed from the Atlas 3. And it was actually for the insides. So they tried to fix it with a wider or bigger pad, and it actually didn't work. It was pretty much all they did was they grabbed the same foam, and uh, it's there was no multi-layer to it. It was literally just like a little thing of foam. Silly, didn't make any sense. So I ended up going and grabbing. It's probably dirty, but this inside is actually the Atlas 4. Because all they did was they changed. They called rayon, which is basically like some aircraft thing or whatever. They do it on a lot of like football helmets and stuff like that. So they were able to get a better crash testing through this inside on the Atlas 4. So essentially, this is essentially an Atlas 4 minus the fact that it has like a vent up top, right? I would upgrade, but they don't have the Smiler, and I absolutely love the Smiler. It fits my personality, and I mean that's where it is. That's it. Who's next?
Would be Quasi.
Put this over.
So, I already showed the picture. Is my audio working again?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wireless pack ran out of juice, so I had to get another one. So yeah, this is the Shoei Neotech 2 modular. I always ride with modulars because I spend so much time in a helmet. If I need to scratch my nose or take a drink or hack a loogie, got to be able to flip the thing up instead of taking it off your head. I ran with the Schuberth C3 Pro for a long time, and then got tired of replacing all the innards of it and the face shields at 100 and something bucks a pop. So I decided to give the Neotech 2 a try, and it's been a very good helmet. So this is the first one that I got that took a dirt nap on the Hunter 350, and I got another one of the exact same color, same helmet, same everything. So modular for the win. It's not as quiet as the Schuberth, but the oval fits my head a little bit better. The head shape works better for me. The Schuberth tended to kind of bite into my forehead a little bit because I've got an oblong melon. So, yeah, that's it. Modular for the win.
How are you doing since that happened? Like, how's your back and everything?
Oh, that could take a whole live stream just by itself. But
Yeah.
I'm doing better.
Good.
Shoulders are still torn up. I've got torn rotator cuffs on both sides from ragdolling, but it could have been a whole lot worse. So
Yeah.
I've got like a 38% tear in one of the ligaments on my right shoulder. My left shoulder has a 22% and 26% tear or something like that is what they figured out on the MRIs. So the left shoulder is healed up pretty well. It's almost back to normal. Right one still gives me a lot of problems, but
Well,
there's no fixing it unless I go in for surgery, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
No.
Once you go in there monkeying with it, it never gets better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Birch?
Helmet time.
Helmet time.
I love his helmet.
Got the Bell Race Star DLX. Freaking love this thing. Has the transitions shield. Automatically gets dark at night. All that kind of good stuff. Super comfortable, but it's interesting. It was actually really uncomfortable at first, and apparently it has some sort of liner that eventually like shapes to your head a little bit better. So after like a month or so, it broke in and it's like perfectly shaped my head now. So that's mine. And then I saw Nina was talking about hers. This is hers. It's a Icon Armada. Super cool looking, but hers doesn't have the transitions shield. So there's been a couple times where like going to West Virginia, where we were riding at night and weren't expecting to, and she had the dark visor. So we've just learned she has to bring some clear safety glasses with her. But kind of like Slight was saying, the design is so good. She'll wait as long as humanly possible before upgrading to anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's the thing with mine. So I'll go back to mine real quick. So this is mine, and yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, if I ever get in a wreck and I have to replace this, it's gonna break my heart.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Link?
I have the Shoei, what is this, the RF-1200, and very comfortable. I got gifted this from, I think, my mother for Christmas one year, and I've had this ever since. I don't even remember what my first helmet was, but it also has the transition visor, which is amazing. Definitely recommend that if you can get it. And the things I like about it is just how quiet it is, but I do want to switch to a modular like Quasi was talking about, because I think that would just be a lot better, especially in Florida with how hot it gets. So
Oh yeah.
that's what I got. This is a Shoei RF-1200.
Heck yeah, y'all.
All right, Nate.
Is a Harley. I don't have it here. It's in the car. It's a Harley Capstone Sunshield 2 H31. Harley modular helmets are HJC built, I want to say. So it fit my fat melon pretty well. And it doesn't have the transitional visor. I prefer the you flick a lever and a pair of sunglasses flips down, so I can ride it day, night. And it does have the anti-fog. What's it called?
Protective.
It's called something. I can't remember what it's called now.
Pin lock.
Pinlock.
Pinlock.
Pinlock, yes. And then when I'm doing motorcycle events or group rides or where not everyone has a cardo, I do have this one. I actually have it's a Daytona Cruiser, and then I have a communicator on the side of it with a microphone that comes around. I know, open face, but generally with this, it will be rock the Harley helmet till I get to where I gotta go. Then the event starts. This comes on. There's no flipping up and down a modular. Generally, it's to meet the safety requirements for the event. So on road, off road, but generally speeds are kept under 15 miles an hour, and it's a lot nicer when it's 105 degrees in Gettysburg, Pennsylvania during the Parade of Chrome, and you got like 500 bikes lined up. I'll take my chances at 15 miles an hour. I figure I bounce. I'll be fine.
So I will say I also have the pin lock on mine, but I don't actually use it because when humidity is usually at like 95, 99%, it don't do nothing.
Yeah, it just gets right in there.
Yeah, it don't do nothing.
It's actually a good point.
It's actually worse in a lot of cases because you can get humidity between the layers, and then there's no wiping it off. You got to
Nope.
ride with it open.
Yeah.
So
All right,
I don't
Francis.
do that here.
I've
Alright,
got
Francis,
the
go ahead.
Subaru C3 that Quasi had, mainly for the same reasons. You want to get a drink, you can open it up, or you just want to open it up to get some air. But as he said, the pieces and parts are expensive. A shield without the pin lock in it is $120. I've had to exercise that once, and I ain't doing that again. And I don't have the pin lock issues that you guys are talking. I've never had it fog up. Maybe it's just luck or conditions.
So I did want to say something. What Nina just said is the anti-fog cleansing lens spray. I've tried those. Still doesn't work in Florida.
That's a Florida problem.
It's 99% humid. I could walk outside and drink from the air.
Yeah, it's Gulf Coast weather down here. You can step outside, squeeze your fist, get water. It's that thick.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, I could never live out west because my nose would just immediately start bleeding from the just dry air out there.
Awesome. Well, I think that is gonna do it probably for this live stream. Unless you guys have something else you would like to say.
Somebody turn off the snow so we can ride.
Yeah, for real.
Don't you have? No, I don't think you've announced that yet. Never mind.
See, that's a y'all problem. I can still go ride right now.
I mean, I can ride right now, but I'm not going to make it past the driveway.
68 degrees.
Yeah, it's
just want to say that we're gonna do this again to people that are watching. We may not have, everybody that's in this specific one. This is just the first one of hopefully many. I think that we've talked about hosting it on one channel. I know that today or tonight, whatever you want to say, we kind of hosted it on multiple channels, but that way it kind of keeps everybody in one spot. So next live stream, I'm not sure which channel we'll be doing it on.
I think it's going to be yours.
Okay. And it's the first Saturday of the month. So look forward to the next one, and we'll keep you guys kind of updated and everything on our community pages, so that way you guys can hang out. And
that will be February 1st.
February 1st.
Oh.
Perfect.
So yeah,
it's my birth month.
Nice.
All right.
But
Thanks,
yeah,
guys, for
thanks
joining us.
everybody, for jumping in, and I know it was a long one. For me, it's 2 hours and 30 minutes. So, but I was in here before everybody, we all were in here. So, but yeah, had a lot of fun with you guys, and love you all. See you guys later.
All
right.
Peace.
Later.
Everybody
Oh,
have
how do
fun.
we do the fire?
Stay dry, stay safe, stay warm.
Nope, it didn't work.
Oh, you
Why
gotta
is it
do
not
this.
working?
None of the things are.
What?
There-
There
no,
you
yeah,
go.
We're not to work.
Maybe it's
Come
my
on.
mic.
No, I got
What
no
do you do?
fire.
You have to do like this?
There's different.
Yeah, you gotta do something. I don't know what it's.
Oh, there it is. I turned it
Mine,
on.
my AI camera just kicked in, so now it's trying to do
I think that's
zooming.
what I do.
When
Yeah,
Birch
look
can
at
figure
that,
out a
look at
feature before anyone else.
Yeah, the Discord dummies
All
got
right,
it.
peace out, everybody.
See
This
y'all.
is
Happy New.
All right,
Happy New Year.
catch y'all next time.
Okay, guys. See you later.
All right. Well, I'm not gone yet, guys. Give me just a second. I'll get my camera up. Just take me just a second. Add existing. There we go. There we go. Sorry, guys. So, yeah. Hopefully you guys can see that okay. Let me bring OBS over here, actually. But yeah, guys, thank you all for jumping in and hanging out. I know it was quite a long one, but I know that we all had a lot of fun doing that. So look forward to the next stream that we're going to be doing. And yeah, if you guys have any questions the next time that we do one of these, feel free to put them in the chat. I know that it's kind of hard to kind of keep everybody, with one chat. That'll help with when we do that the next time. So yeah. If you have any stream suggestions, I'm new at the whole using OBS. So if you guys have any suggestions, let me know. And yeah, had a lot of fun with this. Hopefully my next live stream for me personally will probably be doing more of the Lego set. I did get the Back to the Future DeLorean. So this way. So we'll be doing that. So look forward to that, and hopefully we'll get some good weather here soon. That way I can make some videos. So, but yeah, thank you guys for sticking around. Love you guys. Catch you in the next one. Peace.